Hey everyone, welcome to Storyteller's Handbook. Today we're going to be talking about the beta reader process. Hey everyone, Joelle Brown here. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in Theater and Drama Studies from a university conservatory program, and I also have over 10 years experience in theater. And right now I'm writing my debut novel, The Refining. Beta readers are crucial, but what exactly is a beta reader? Well, a beta reader is someone who will read your unedited, finished manuscript to give you first viewer feedback. They will be the first audience of your book, and they will read it, tell you what they liked, didn't like, what confused them, maybe character arcs that they felt like were underdeveloped, maybe plot holes that they found, and that will help you go back and re-edit your manuscript so that you can fill in all those holes and smooth out all those bumps. Now that we know what a beta reader is, how do I find beta readers? Well, beta readers are all over social media. There are Facebook groups where you can post the summary or blurb for your novel and just say that you need beta readers. It's a really great idea to include when you're looking to have them start reading for you and what kind of timeline you're thinking about. Put the details about your novel as well in terms of the genre. What's the word count so people know how long it is. And if there are any triggers. Triggers are things in your novel that could invoke an emotional response. So anything like divorce, suicide, violence, language, sexual content, that if a beta reader is not really comfortable with that, you won't kind of spring something on them that they weren't expecting. Never want to do that to a beta reader. Another option, which is a route that I took, is you can find paid beta readers. Now, beta readers on social media are usually free, but you can go on places like Upwork or Fiverr, and you can find people who, for a very small fee, will do your beta reading for you. Now, paid versus free. One thing to consider, the benefits of paid is because you're paying them, usually they're guaranteed to finish. They're guaranteed to finish in the timeline that you stipulate, and they're going to give you pretty good feedback because you, at the end of the process, will grade them and it will go on their record how well they did this job for you. In every beta reader process, sometimes beta readers don't finish. Either the book turns out that it's not really what they thought and they're really not interested in doing it anymore, or their life gets busy, something comes up, things happen. I started with 8 beta readers, 5 that were free and 3 that were paid. And I ended up with 3 that were free and 2 that were paid that finished. Of course, the one that was paid that didn't finish, I got my money back. Maybe start with a couple more than you're hoping to end with. And when I say inexpensive, I think I paid one paid beta reader $15 US and the other I paid $30 US. And that was for a manuscript that was 62,000 words long. And I expected them to have it done in 10 days, which they did. For my free beta readers, who I value their opinion just as much, these were people who were doing this for free because they love to read books. And my book happened to kind of fit in the genre that they're used to reading. Turns out they enjoyed it, so it was really valuable feedback. The next thing is, what do I ask them? I will link in the description below my questionnaire that I gave to my beta readers. Some authors use a questionnaire, some don't. It also depends on if there are specific things that you're looking for. A beta reader will give you general remarks, but you know your story and you know exactly what you need feedback on. And if there's some areas that you're not quite sure about, or there's some characters that you're not quite sure about, then you can ask them specifically to give you feedback in that area. How do I give my manuscript to my beta readers? Some authors will give it to them all at once, which I do not recommend. Some authors will give it to them chapter by chapter, which I think sounds like just a tedious process. I actually broke up my manuscript into 4 parts. And so I would send out 1 quarter and they would read it through, answer my questions, which were in a separate Microsoft Word document. And when they sent back the answers for part 1, I would send them part 2. I think it's really important for you to stipulate in your questionnaire or in your instructions that you want them to answer the questions as soon as they finish reading. They're going to forget what they read and you're going to end up with really vague answers. The more detailed the answer is going to give you really valuable feedback for your manuscript. The next thing you might be thinking about is, what if my beta readers steal my book? This is a question I've got over and over. Your script that you're sending out, as much as it's your baby and I'm sure it's really, really wonderful just like all the other wonderful babies, it's probably full of things that need to be corrected. The spelling and grammar is not going to be great. There's probably going to be things with the plot you need to fix, things with the characters. If I'm a very scrupulous beta reader and I want to steal your book, first I have to apply. Then when you finally approve me, I'm going to have to read through the first section and give you very detailed answers just so that you can give me the next portion. And again, and again. And then not only do I have to fix all those things, but now I have to hire a cover designer, proofreader, copy editor, maybe a line editor, do the front matter, the back matter. I have to figure out the formatting. It's a lot of work. And there are easier ways to steal a book. All my beta readers, I asked them to sign a document, how I expected the process to go, and also that they were agreeing to not steal my work, and agreeing that any feedback they gave me, I now own. Like if you tell me my novel would be really great if I threw in a couple vampires, and then I do, you don't own the novel now. No, my dear. But even then, know that in your country, there are probably copyright laws to cover you. In Canada, you can add an extra layer of protection by mailing the completed manuscript to yourself and not opening it. But let me reiterate, this rarely happens. Something else to consider when you're looking for beta readers is variety. Now, I don't mean variety in terms of the genre that they like. They should like your genre. I had one of my beta readers who said he doesn't normally read my genre of book, but was willing to give it a shot, tell me that the following thing I'm about to tell you, take it with a grain of salt because this is not my type of book. Sometimes his comments were appreciated, but not applied. And sometimes he was actually right on the nose. I suggest you find beta readers that are in your genre. What do I mean by variety? I mean, get people of different ethnic backgrounds who are different ages. And that way, you know it's going to appeal to more than just one age, gender, and ethnicity. Now you have all the feedback from your beta readers. How do you organize your beta reader feedback? What worked for me was I took all of their feedback to each question and I put them back to back. So I just copy and pasted them into a master document. So in one document, for each question, I had all of their answers lined up. So it was easy for me to see if there was a common thread. I used Word documents that they were able to fill out. Google Forms is very valuable because it compiles it for you, but it's a necessary evil. And now I always have those notes to go back and reference if ever I need to. Now, after I did that, I created one document that ended up being 5.5 pages, all point form of things that I wanted to change. And as I went through in my manuscript and I changed these things, filled these holes, closed these doors, I crossed them off the list. And that was just my way of making sure that I didn't miss anything, that everything was organized, that everything was applied. Another very important thing to consider when you're working with beta readers is they might not like your book. They are going to say things that you don't like. They're going to attack characters that you love dearly. You don't have to apply it. No one's holding a gun to your head, but you do have to listen because you asked them for the opinions in the first place. So listen graciously. If there's something you don't understand, ask them for clarification. But don't take offense. Certainly don't yell at them or say anything rude. Just take it. I understand. 3 of my 5 beta readers told me to completely get rid of one of my characters. One of the characters that I loved. When you read the book, he's the blonde bedhead. I didn't kill him. I fixed him, but I never would have fixed him if I didn't listen to them. But now, he's very fiery, exciting blonde bedhead, and I can't wait for readers to read him now. One other thing that's really important when you're working with beta readers is gratitude. Especially if you're working with people who are doing this for free. You need to show that you are grateful for their time and their effort to read through your book, to only make it better. A lot of times, beta readers will even throw in a little extra, like pointing out some grammar and spelling, which they are not required to do, by the way. Beta readers are not proofreaders. Do not expect them to fix spelling and grammar. It's enough that they sat down for a week or 2 and went through your manuscript and then took the time to write these things down for a perfect stranger who may not be paying them. I know some authors have in the thank you or the acknowledgement section of their book mentioned the beta readers by first name. That's something that I plan to do, but it's just a way of saying, hey, I really appreciate you taking time and effort to make my book better. And at the very least, you can send them a copy of the finished product so they can see how it's evolved from the baby book to the grown-up book. Okay, that's all I have to say about beta readers today. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing and hit that bell so that you get notified when I put up new videos. And don't forget to hit the like button so I know that you like this content and I will make more of the same. Thanks everyone, see you in the next video.